When should a landlord replace versus repair? A practical guide for Florida property owners. For landlords, few decisions are as routine yet consequential as choosing whether to repair or replace a failing component in a rental property. The choice affects not only immediate costs, but also long-term profitability, tenant satisfaction, and legal compliance. In Florida, where climate conditions and aging housing stock add pressure to building systems, the decision carries additional weight. In markets such as Pinellas County, where many homes were built decades ago and exposure to humidity and storms accelerates, where landlords are increasingly balancing short-term fixes against long-term investment strategy. The core question, cost today versus cost over time. At its simplest, the repair versus replace decision comes down to life cycle economics. A lower upfront repair cost can be appealing, but repeated fixes often add up to more than a full replacement. A commonly used rule among property managers is the 50% guideline. If the cost to repair an item approaches or exceeds half the cost of replacing it, replacement is often the more practical option. While not a legal rule, it provides a useful benchmark. However, cost alone is not enough. Reliability, tenant impact, and safety must also be considered. When repair is the smarter choice. Repairs are generally appropriate when the issue is isolated, the system is relatively new, and the fix will extend its useful life without recurring problems. Minor or isolated issues. A leaking faucet, a broken door handle, or a small drywall repair typically does not justify replacement. These are routine maintenance items. Newer systems under warranty. If an appliance or system is still within its expected lifespan or covered by a warranty, repairing the issue is often the most efficient approach. Low-cost, high-impact fixes. Simple repairs that restore full function without risk of repeated failure are usually the preferred option, particularly when they can be completed quickly with minimal disruption to tenants. When replacement makes more sense. Replacement becomes the better decision when problems are recurring, costs are escalating, or the system no longer meets safety or efficiency standards. Repeated repairs. If the same component requires frequent service, replacement can reduce long-term expenses and minimize tenant frustration. Aging systems. Older systems, especially HVAC units, water heaters, and roofs, tend to become less efficient and more prone to failure. In Florida's climate, HVAC systems often face accelerated wear due to year-round usage. Safety or code compliance issues. If a system poses a safety risk or fails to meet current building codes, replacement is not optional. Electrical panels, structural components, and certain plumbing systems fall into this category. Tenant retention and market competitiveness. In competitive rental markets like Pinellas County, outdated appliances or visibly worn features can affect tenant satisfaction and renewal rates. Replacing key components can support higher rents and reduce vacancy. Florida-specific considerations. Climate impact. Humidity, salt air in coastal areas, and storm exposure can shorten the lifespan of many building components. Roofing materials, exterior paint, and HVAC systems often require earlier replacement compared to inland markets. Insurance requirements. In Florida, insurers may require updates to roofs, electrical systems, or plumbing in order to maintain coverage. In some cases, replacement is driven not by failure, but by underwriting standards. Aging housing inventory. Pinellas County has a significant number of older homes, many built prior to modern building codes. Landlords operating in this market frequently face decisions about whether to continue repairing legacy systems or invest in full upgrades. The financial perspective. From an accounting standpoint, repairs are typically considered operating expenses, while replacements may be classified as capital improvements. This distinction matters for tax purposes and long-term investment planning. While repairs may offer immediate deductions, replacements can add value to the property and may be depreciated over time. For investors managing multiple properties, tracking these decisions carefully can provide insight into overall portfolio performance and maintenance trends. A strategic approach to maintenance decisions. Experienced landlords often rely on a structured approach rather than making decisions case by case. This includes maintaining a reserve fund for major replacements, tracking repair frequency and costs for each system, scheduling preventive maintenance to extend lifespan, evaluating tenant feedback and recurring issues, By treating maintenance decisions as part of a broader strategy, landlords can reduce surprises and improve long-term returns. The bottom line: deciding whether to repair or replace is not simply a question of immediate cost. It is a balancing act between efficiency, reliability, compliance, and tenant experience. In Florida's demanding climate and competitive rental markets like Pinellas County, delayed replacement can lead to higher costs and operational strain. At the same time, unnecessary upgrades can reduce short-term profitability. The most effective landlords approach the decision with data, planning, and a clear understanding of both the property's condition and the market it serves.